In the last lesson, we saw that when we create a vector of employee objects, or a base class vector, and then store both base class employee and derived class manager objects in that vector, and then call a specific function, the compiler looks at the type of the vector to determine what function to call, not the type of the object. So that even with manager objects in the vector, it was still calling the gross pay function for employee objects. Another solution we might try is to create pointers and use pointers to try to get the compiler to figure out what type of function to call. So let's give that a shot. We'll create an employee pointer, or a pointer to an employee object, like so. Then let's assign it the address of emp1, our employee object, and then we'll write a little code to return the name, and then also to return gross pay. Remember, we have to pass the hours in for gross pay. And then let's run the program. Okay, so that looks correct, and we expected it to. Let's try the same thing with the manager object. This time we'll assign the address of mgr1, manager1, to our employee pointer. Check it with the same code. And remember, for a manager object, if salaried is true, which it is, then the compiler should ignore the number of hours passed in and simply return the salary as gross pay. So let's build and run this program now, see what we get. And no, we still have the same problem. The problem here is that the compiler is looking at not the type of object that is stored in our variable, but instead the data type of the variable itself to decide what to do. So a pointer to employee is still going to call the employee gross pay function even if it's a manager object, just like what happened with the vector. So we still haven't solved the problem, but don't worry, there's a solution close at hand. What we need to do is we need to modify the definition of the employee gross pay function and the manager gross pay function with one simple keyword, and we'll fix this whole problem, and we're going to see how to do that in the next lesson.